Okay, so the other materials we're going to work on now then. So for this basic blue, for example, if we go in here, you'll see we've got arch and design material, which is always a popular one for me. It's a mental array material, so I apologise to all you guys using third-party systems. Click on there. Now you'll see it's assigned this basic funky shiny texture to everything. If I just hit F9, you'll kind of see what I mean. It takes a minute to translate the scene. However, this is the basis of some really awesome effects that we can have fun with. Just checking that I can still see that nice carbon fiber style material. Right, now we're going to go and make a heavy duty plastic. So if we look in the templates, you can see we've actually got a glossy and a matte plastic. That's our glossy one there. If I just double click on it, I always really quite liked the glossy plastic. It's got quite a small reflective tint to it. So for the main colour, what I'm going to do is change that to a slightly blue. Just fade that down a bit, like so. The reflection on this has a glossiness. Just bring that down to about 0.3. I can make it into a metal material if I want, just by clicking this box here. I don't really want to though, I like plastic. Okay, not having any refraction or translucency. It's not going to self-illuminate. If I go to special effects, we can turn on ambient occlusion. So it'll calculate the ambient occlusion while it renders. That'll slow it down quite a bit though. We don't want to round the corners because I've already chamfered. But if you hadn't, that'll simulate doing the chamfering. It's not a great effect though, so don't hold your breath. Let me see. The maximum trace depth is going to be useful if there's too much reflection going on, so I'm kind of tempted to keep that, but I'm not going to. I don't really want any bumps. I could put some minor dents into it, but I'd have to unwrap everything. Okay, so that's going to be pretty much fine for what we need. Let's go on to the dark metal now, and for that one, again, keeping it in mental array, we could use a car paint, which is going to look a bit weird. Incidentally, the car paint, if I just show you here, I'll use it for the other one for a minute. Right, this is the car paint material here. If I just press F9, you can have a look at it. And what it does is it kind of simulates the different layers you get in car paint, where you've got your top layer, which is all shiny, and then your layer underneath that, which is the colour, so it's kind of your lacquer, your colour, and then your flakes of paint underneath. I'm tempted to use this car paint actually, because it is pretty. So let's make the base colour on this a blue. See how fickle I am, see how easily I change my mind. There we go, a nice blue. Turn on the background there so I can see it slightly better. Very reflective, it's car paint. The edge bias, if you're not sure what something is, you know, just go and read the manual. Right, flakes, let me see. I'm just going to grey the flakes a little bit, like that. Just allows us to see them a bit better. You can see them kind of in the spec there. Flake density, about 0.65. Flake reflections, no. Flake weight. You can up and down your flake weight depending on how many flakes, how much you want. Like 50. That's a lot of flake. Say about 3.5. Too many. There, 0.75. For your specular reflection, you've got your specular weight and specular exponents. Reflection colour. Well, that's already a fall off, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, we've got dirt colour and dirt weight. So we can put in our dirt weight at... Now, what does it top out on this? It's 1. There we go. So we can choose how much dirt we want in our layer. In this case, let me see. For 1's maximum, 0.05 should be enough. And you can stick dirt color as any material in this. So for example, here's a simple metal loom shader, and that will now sit on top of this, and we can change our surface metal material to a kind of dark grey. And now pools of metal will look like, you know, maybe the paint's a bit thinner in areas than it really should be, and so on. Okay, dirt weight can be kind of applied evenly, or it can be applied by using a map a bit like an alpha. I'm just going to have mine applied pretty much evenly. Okay, let's close that off, and now we should see, if I do a quick render, nice pretty blue colour. So you can see areas where the light's kind of shining on it, and there's areas that look like they're not quite as shiny as they could be, if you know what I mean, especially over here. Okay, so that's not bad. I might want to reduce that a little bit actually. I think the dirt's a little bit overpowering. Change that to 0.01. Okay. Now, this dark metal we've got over here, a couple of things we can do. We could just use a simple way of doing it, which is, works in anything. You just stick a noise map over here, change the high to about 0.6 and the low to about 0.55, which gives this here. Stick a turbulence in it, and then have the two colours ridiculously close to each other like this. Make it a bit larger. Just adjust this one a bit. Just drop the low on this to about 0.35. There, just so it starts to patch out a little bit. Okay, now if we go back up and stick this in our spec, then increase our spec, like so, and our glossiness. We can then go down to maps and stick a reflection in here and do a fall off. Okay, like so. Fall offs always work quite well. And in here, stick a ray trace. And change this to 11. And darken this some more, just for the sheer hell of it. Okay, and that makes a very simple kind of metal texture. Or, you know, you can just choose 3D Studio Max's metal texture, which is a metal shader, whatever the hell it is, metal ray, and then choose metal as your shader. Or you can go to the architecture and design and build your texture in there. I'm going to probably just use this one, to be honest, because I've always quite liked making a nice simple metal texture. We can possibly just add a few little bits in the noise to this specular. Actually, no, we don't even need to do that with the specular. Let's have a look. Got noise in here already. Oh, that's a different one. That's not the one I'm working on. I was wondering what the hell I was doing there. Let's look at our specular. Thinking, why isn't that working? In here, I'll stick another noise. Never hurts to have a few. Drop the size down. Let me see. Maybe drop them to about here. Just makes the metal appear a little bit more greasy. Okay, and this one down here, we can probably apply another noise to it just to mix them up a bit. And down here I'll change the size to 2.5. Make it fractal, unlike the other one. And change this colour, slightly darker. Okay, like that. Okay, that's quite nice. Let's have a look over here. Quite like the shine on that. I might want to increase the specular level a bit though. So it looks like with a much higher specular value. Not that different. Let's up the glossiness a bit. Nah, too much. Drop that to 30. That's much better. Much nicer, rougher looking metal as well. Kind of one of those no messing about metals. That'll do. Okay, and then over here, we've only got this one kind of appearing a few times, this one. And this is pretty much just our generic chrome. And if you want a generic chrome, just go and grab one from the architecture and design. There's one. Okay, so let's see how this came together so far. It's quite a blue colour, that one. I really would prefer to have it a little bit more monochrome, I think. Change the saturation on it just a very minor blue. That's slightly better. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that's good. We haven't got any lighting or anything in the scene yet, which is one of the reasons it looks so flat, incidentally. But we will be putting lighting and stuff into our scene, because we have to make it all pretty for when I actually make it into the DVD cover and stuff, and when I put it on the forum. But yeah, that's looking okay. So does it zoom out? Yeah, it's catching the light quite nicely. Okay, now presentation then. So I'll make a presentation diorama for it next, so that we have something to use for this. So until then, see you in the next part. Bye bye for now.